Hey, this is Dave from the Centurions Review, and today I'm doing an unboxing of IAF, Israeli Air Force Leader. I'd like to thank Dan Verson Games for sending me this game for review. I'll be reviewing it on my website. Thank you very much. I've always been interested in the Israeli Air Force, and especially the history of it. If you want to read about an Air Force's history, you must read about Israel's Air Force's history. It's very colorful, especially in the beginning. What I really liked when I turned over this box is it says that one of the aircraft in it is a B-17 Flying Fortress. When the Israeli Air Force was first being formed, no one would sell them any planes, so they did stuff like create fake movie companies so they could buy U.S. surplus warplanes, and that's what they did with the B-17. So they tore a map out of an encyclopedia and flew it over Cairo, Egypt, and bombed Cairo on the way to Israel, which is kind of interesting. And this also has the Avia S-199, the worst fighter aircraft ever made. It was a Czechoslovakian version of a German fighter. It had a habit of the guns getting out of sync with the propeller, so when they would take off, they would immediately fire a burst to see if it would shoot off the propeller, and if it did, they would make it a propellerless landing. It had they replaced the engine, the Czechoslovakians, with a bomber engine, and it just gave the aircraft just horrible performance. Every pilot who flew it utterly hated it, but it's part of Israeli history. They had to use it, and they actually were able to shoot down some aircraft with it, so they used it as well as they could. Let's take a look inside the box. Inside, let's see here, we have a color rule book. Color rule books are always good. Looks like it's got great pictures and illustrations. Tactical display sheet, target cards, pilots and crews, squadron selection, weapons, missiles, bombs, ECM pods. That's cool. Sights and bandits, escalation cards. I'll find out later what those are. It's even got a pre-flight section, aircraft attack sequence, and a debriefing. It's only 25 pages long, that's not bad, and here it shows the cards and some of the counters. That's cool, looks like a nice rule book. Here's a player log. I'll make a photocopy of that and use the photocopy so they don't harm the original. And it looks like it's got a mounted map. Let's see what that looks like. So we got a target card, center area, different directions of approach and pre-approach areas, and you can mark off the turns, and you put the target deck and event deck there, it looks like. And on the right side, sequence of play. That's always good to have on the map, so you don't have to look through the rule book as much. That's a good idea. And it looks like we have lots of counters, and these look like they're laser cut or something. It looks like you're not going to get any shafts that you have to cut off on the corner, so that's good. Let's see, these look like they're missiles and bombs and stuff. More weapons. Alright, here we have some of the aircraft here. That's cool. I assume I haven't read the rules. I'm assuming the red stuff is the enemy forces. So there's a lot of counters, which means I should get out one of my old counter trays and use them to sort and organize the counters for this game. Here we got some, looks like some informational markers and more stuff. Let's see what we have here. Key terms. Alright, this has the different pilot skills. Attack sequence, SO point cost. So interesting, this must be some kind of player aid card. And these look like the missions. Let's see what kind of missions we have here. 2022, that's some kind of future mission. 2006, Lebanon, that was a fiasco. Desert Storm, interesting. Wonder what that's about, because after being repeatedly targeted by Scud rockets, Israel launched a counterattack against Iraq with the help of aerial refueling from American KC-135 tankers. I don't know if that actually happened or not, or if it's just something they put in the game to make it interesting. I'll have to go online and see if a raid like that actually occurred in Desert Storm. Lebanon. Operation Babylon. Oh, this is when they bombed the nuclear power plant. That's cool. They got that mission in here. Yom Kippur War. Oh, this is when they attacked Israel and had all the SAMs and the Sagar missiles, and the SAMs were shooting down a lot of planes, and the Sagar missiles destroyed a lot of Israeli tanks before the Israelis got things under control. Six-Day War, everyone knows about that, one of the most famous wars that ever occurred in the Middle East. Glad that's represented. Suez Crisis, interesting. And the War of Independence, this will be the first one I'm going to try, because this is I have a lot of interest in that. And down here we have a D10 dice. And lots of cards. Let me open some of these up real quick. Here's the first set of cards. Looks like we have a bunch of A4 Skyhawks. Lots of them, actually. That looks like an F4. Looks like they have the Israel... Are these Israeli names or what? Locum? Interesting. Vautour? I'm not even sure what that is. That interesting. Super Mister, they did use a lot of French jets. Mirage 3C, they had good success with that. Alright, second set of cards, we got Meteors, Mosquitoes, Mysteers, Oregons, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and Magisters. And more Mirages. Very good. In this deck we have Kafirs. I believe that's an Israeli-made version of some type of Mirage. F-16s. Just so you guys know, the Israelis never shot down a plane with an F-16. As far as I know, there's only one instance of an F-16 actually shooting down an aircraft, and it was the Turks who did it. So, interesting fact for you. F-15, the Israelis shot down tons of aircraft with that. In one war, they shot down like 80-some MiGs with F-15s without any losses to their F-15s. Nesher. More A4 Skyhawks. Alright, here's some really cool stuff. P-51 Mustangs. B-17. Spitfires. Avia. We already discussed that plane. Meteor. Alright, here's some other types of cards. Looks like we got Close Air Support, Fighter Sweep, Bomber Defense, Osiris Reactor, interesting, Site Presence, UN Support, AAA, Ground Fire, Surface-to-Air Attacks, AAA Vehicles, Lucky Break, Bad Briefing, Forward Air Controllers, Escalated Conflict, Bad Enemy Leadership. Here's some interesting stuff. U.S. Withdraw Support. So they got these political cards too. That's kind of cool. International Condemnation. USSR Escalates Conflict. UN Debate. Government Pressure. Interesting. This looks like a really interesting game. Here's some more fighter cards. Kafir F-35 Lightning II. That's probably going to be used in the future war scenario, I would assume. We got lots of them in here. And here's some other stuff. Small Convoy, Supply Convoy, Attack Craft Fleet, World Power NATO Fleet, Stronghold, Tank Spearhead, Mixed Ground Troops, Artillery, Convoy, Military Base, Air Base, SAM Sites, AAA Sites, City, Port, regional headquarters building. So this looks like a pretty interesting game, and it looks like it's got a lot of cool stuff in it, and they must have paid a fortune to have all the artwork done on all these cards, because this is a lot of different cards. So this looks interesting. It looks like it's got a lot of scenarios and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to trying this. I'm probably going to start play testing it tomorrow, so should have a review in a week or two, probably 2 weeks. So thanks for watching.